Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. In this video I'm going to actually be making soap. So I am very new to making soap and I did look up tons of recipes on how to make soap and what's beneficial for making the soap, and in the end I found that the best way to make soap and the simplest way to make an all-natural soap is to have a all-natural pre-made soap base. So I have actually ordered these bars of soap, and they are Castiel soap bars that are melt and pour. So they are all natural. All the ingredients in here are also all vegan, so there's no animal byproducts or anything like that. It actually consists mainly of olive oil as its main base, and then of course they added palm oil, coconut oil, safflower oil, glycerin, which is a vegetable origin, kosher. It's purified water, sodium hydroxide. They had a sorbitol moisturizer and a sorbitin olite, if I said that right, emulsifier. And they used a good conditioner, which was an oat protein, for this soap base. So this is exactly the ingredients you would need to make an all-natural vegan soap. So I have gotten this pre-made in a clear version because I am going to be coloring it myself. It is coming up to the holidays and I am getting ready to make some Christmas care packages for my family. Now, on top of adding color to this, I'm going to be doing some Christmas colors, and I am going to be making soap molds. So I am making two different kinds. One of them is going to be my Christmas balls, and the second one is going to be a little bit more basic for those of my friends that don't celebrate Christmas, we'll say. So I just have some basic handmade soaps that I'm going to choose to make some different colors in. And I am actually, even though this soap is pretty much made, like I said, all you're adding is color and then of course essential oils, whatever fragrances that you want to add in. I'm going to definitely go for something Christmassy, but I'm still thinking about what smells I want to add to this. I'm also going to add another oil. So you can choose to add any other oil you want, or you can choose not to add any oil at all. But you can add coconut, sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, you can add pumpkin seed oil. I am actually choosing to add a hempseed oil. The reason I'm adding hempseed oil is, one, it does not clog your pores, so it's super amazing for that. It's also super great for sensitive skin. It helps not to clog your pores, of course, but it also helps with the oil that you produce to help regulate it, and it's also great for people with eczema. So my daughter has eczema, which is why I make a lot of natural stuff. She has super sensitive skin, but I also have friends and a lot of my family also suffer from those conditions as well, and hempseed oil is actually super moisturizing, that it does help with people who have eczema. So we're going to start putting all of these together, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Cut up about a half a pound, because each one of these is a pound. So I did about a half a pound to start out with. I'm going to allow that to melt. Now, if you don't have one of these, that's fine. You can actually use a double boiler to melt the soap down, or you can actually use a glass bowl, stick it inside a pot with a little bit of water, and just make sure that the water is not high enough that it can rise over the bowl and go inside of the bowl, and you can melt the soap just like that on top of the stove. But we're going to wait for it to melt down, and then we will add in the other ingredients. Now, it has has completely melted all the soap in there, and I have already added the hemp seed oil. So I have actually brought it down to a very low heat just to maintain that it stays liquefied, because I am not ready for it to solidify yet. And I'm going to be adding the essential oils. There's about 250 milliliters of product in here right now, and that is approximately 8 ounces, a little over 8 ounces. For every ounce, you want to add somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 drops, no more than that, of essential oils, because it is a pure grade essential oil. So we are going to be adding approximately 80 drops to this recipe. I've actually chosen 4 different essential oils. I'm going to be using a very small amount of cinnamon leaf. I'm going to be using a bergamot, which is like a citrusy smell. And then I'm also going to be using a sweet orange and a lemon. So we're looking for that really zesty, warm, good for the morning wake up soap bar that allows you to get up but still feel really warm inside. So it's a great holiday smell. So I'm actually going to be starting with the cinnamon leaf because we're going to be using the least amount of that. And this is just my preference. You can use any smell you want. You can find and look up any kind of smell that you enjoy, or that's something that might benefit you for whatever kind of need that you have. So we're going to start mixing the essential oils in now. I ended up mixing 10 drops of cinnamon leaf. I mixed 20 drops of lemon, and then for the last 50 I did 25 drops of the bergamot and 25 drops of sweet orange. I can tell you from here that it smells so amazing, very warm feeling, and it's got that real nice zest to it. So incredible. So I'm actually going to be turning off the heat right now, and I am actually going to use a magnetic stir. Obviously, if you don't have this, you can use anything you want to stir up the mixture to make sure that everything is through and through mixed up. So we're going to actually take this and just drop that in there, and then we're going to turn it on. Up a little bit. This looks really cool to me. Alright, we're going to take that out of there, and then we're going to start working with the color. Now I'm going to be using pigment powder. Like I said, for these first ones I'm going to be doing a white and a blue. So, as I've learned from previous videos, using pigment powder is very strong, so you only want to add a little bit to get the color you want, and then if you feel you need to add more, you add more later. I'm going to be coloring them, but I'm going to be putting a little bit of soap in each one of these other beakers, and this way I can make the 2 different colors so that I can drip it into the lines and try to make something pretty. So, we're going to get started mixing the pigment powder. So I have made blue soap and I have made white soap. Now I'm going to try to carefully put these in the lines, and we'll see how it turns out. the first round of soaps where I actually made, let's see, these 2.5, we'll say. It filled two whole molds, and then there was a little bit left off and I didn't want to waste it, so I did put it into the other one. So I made a little bit of a sliver I can use for myself. I think they came out pretty cool with the design and all. I tried a few different ways. So I actually decided when I'm making the Christmas balls to double up the recipe. So this recipe, instead of 250 milliliters, which was a half pound, is going to be 500 milliliters, which is a full pound, which means I'm also going to double up on the other ingredients. I'm going to be putting 2 tablespoons of hempseed oil, as before when I had only put 1 tablespoon. And then I'm also going to be doubling the essential oils. So in the half pound we did 80 drops of essential oils. In this one we're going to be doing 160 drops of essential oil. We're going to be using the same combination as we did before. We're just going to double up everything we did earlier. So I'm going to come back once I have filled up these Christmas balls with the 3 colors my daughter picked out, which is red, white, and gold. So I'll be back. Now pouring in the Christmas balls. So they are settling, but they are nowhere near dry. I did have a little bit of spillage, but we'll fix that later. So you can kind of see underneath a little bit how they turned out. But they're definitely going to be a few hours before they're anywhere near the process of taking them out. I had some leftover red color, so I actually had another tray where I filled in a bunch more because I never like to waste anything. So there was some left over. I poured it in some other soap molds that I had. These are the ones that have already came out of the mold, and like I said, they take hours. Typically, sometimes it could take, honestly, all day long. It could even take up to 4 days. Luckily, because these come in a pre-soap mold base already, they don't take as long. If you were making these soaps 100% from scratch, meaning making your own soap foundation base and not using one of the bars that I had earlier, thought I still had one out. I already put them away. You would actually need anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to allow it to cure. Luckily, that's why I said pre-soap made base formulas are definitely for me, because these are only going to take about 2 to 3 days to really settle. So it takes almost a whole day, because it's already nighttime now, for them to come out of their mold. Once they're out of their mold, you want to keep them in a cool, dry place so that they settle. And you want to do that for anywhere from 2 to 4 days. Once they've settled, you can package them. You can wrap them up in saran wrap. I'm actually going to put them in little holiday bags that I actually picked up from the store for $1. So little gingerbread man, I'm going to put them in. But you can place them in anything. So I'm not going to end the video here. I am actually going to be back tomorrow morning once I am able to take out all of these molds and show you exactly what they look like. So I'll see you in the morning. Okay, so it has actually been 3 days since I last shot that footage and made these soaps. I definitely had a little bit of trouble the first night. This is my first time making soap, so I definitely learned that I live in Florida and there's a lot of humidity, and being that there's so much humidity, you have to keep your soaps to make sure that they settle correctly in a cool, dry place. And because it was a little too humid in my house, they actually started sweating. So of course I had to figure out why they were sweating. But I figured out that I needed to put them in a cooler, drier place. So I definitely lowered the air in the house and put them in a different location. Now, lucky for me that we actually had a beautiful cold front come into Florida, and they are now completely settled, and it's actually very cool now in the house without even the AC. So I want to show you the finished products of the soaps that we made the other night. These are the first ones that we made, and then the Christmas balls. And I did have some of the red left over, so I made some other ones I had. And then this one especially for my daughter, she loves owls. So I definitely like the way they turned out. I will be making more of these. But these are going to be gifts, which I'm actually going to wrap up now. And I'm going to put them into some beautiful gift wrap paper to give away for the holidays. You know, for my first time making soaps, I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video with making my soaps and putting them in these adorable little soap bags as much as I enjoyed making them. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it down below and subscribe to my channel. I will be putting out future videos, so don't forget to hit that bell and hit all notifications so you don't miss any of them. And definitely share it with anyone you know who would enjoy this. Please leave a comment down below. And just so you know, I do make products, and you can actually go and look at my Facebook page on Showtime Styles 360, or you can check out my website at showtimestyles360.com. I do not have soaps on there. This is something I just recently started doing, but I definitely have a lot of other natural vegan products that you might enjoy, so you might want to go check that out. I will leave the link in the description box below, but until next time, have a wonderful day.